Welcome back, everyone. It's actually a pretty decent day outside considering it's middle of January, or a few weeks into January, a week into January, something like that. So I'm about done with the back section here. I finished making these brackets here. This is for the tie support that goes from, let's zoom up, the other zoom in. Let's try this way. So from these back brackets here, there's a bar that comes down here, and I'll show you that once I get back to putting this back together. So there's a bar that comes down from here, and then there's an X-frame, which you saw in the last video, that goes from those spots, which I just made the brackets for right there, and then it'll tie the cross member in this way. As I mentioned in my last video, everything is metal to metal, so I'm not using the fiberglass as a support member. You can see it down there. I'll put it back up a little bit later. I drilled out the holes and then the pockets. And then I have a couple of these that I've made. Well, I made one right now. I'm about to make the second one. And then I have these little rings, and these are the little rings that'll sit here, so when this is all put together, all you see is the aluminum coming through. Kind of cleans it up a little bit. So that's about it for the back section. I'm just gonna let it cool down a little bit more, and then I can put the back together, the back piece there, and put the metals back on. The only thing that will need to be adjusted at some point is this little 3/4 inch tie bar. Just depends on where the window is. Right now it's where the window is in the piece here, but in the real one it's actually down maybe, I don't know, 1/2 inch, something like that further. So this bar will have to just be cut out and drop down. Easy enough to do there. Once the window size is decided, if the window size stays that way, then that stays where it is. All right, here's a view with the back put back on. That side, fiberglass isn't cut yet, so it needs to come back in. This side has already been done. You can see it's pulled in, it's just taped up in place, but you can see the cutout for the bars. I'll put those in next, but I wanted to show you you gotta have a little bit of the aluminum. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, right there, a little bit of the aluminum sticking out. That gets caulked around this. Once this is in place, locked in like that. Maybe you can see it now. Yeah, there you go. You can see the aluminum on both sides. Right there. Yeah, see it. And then this is all bolted down. So this is all bolted down nice and solid. And it ties the rear to the back there. Keeps it from doing any kind of weird twisting. All right, so now I got the side brackets bolted back in. I gotta buy some more bolts. I ran out. I don't know why I didn't get enough. But you can see once this is in, this will actually go in just a little bit. I gotta clean this one up so it fits a little better. Yeah, a little bit there. No big deal. That side, you can see it comes through. Right there, the aluminum coming through nicely. That's all bolted down here. I just gotta put this bar back on, and now I can start working on the front suspension. That'll be fun. All right, here we go with the start of the brackets. So this is the front engine cradle. I have it sitting up here, it's all level, sitting ready to go. And I just made this quick using some, using some scrap metal that I had hanging around. You can see I got some brackets down there. I used the original bolts going through, so I got it set for 0. And then I have some washers that'll center that nicely on both sides. This bar here and this bar here are just there to give me my level, so I can go level this way and level it this way. And I'll bring it over to the front and start seeing how it fits. All right, let me see if I can, the other way. So I got this sitting in place. It's level, plumb that way. It's all just kind of bracketed in. I made some cardboard templates for the bracketry, so it'll attach to here. And then the next thing will be is to make the brackets and get them bolted on there. I also picked up a C6 steering rack. That one there is just a template because it's no good, but it's a good, at least I can create the mounting points and all that for it once I get there. All right, everyone, after a long day, I have the lower brackets in place. I have to just put in one more piece on the top of that bracket way over there just to keep it from moving in and out. And got that bolted on. I have my paracord shock absorber right now. Still don't have a shock, but that's sitting in where it's supposed to sit. Like I said before, I picked up a rack, so I'll take that and I'll mount that in there. Have to figure out where I'm gonna bracket it and how I'm gonna bracket it, but that'll be a later date. This rack, like I said, this rack is no good, just a good template. But so there's side one, and I already made, I just gotta clean them up. But I have all the brackets for the passenger side already made. So that'll be done. And then the only other thing I'll have to do is, let me go back over here, is on each side of the Corvette suspension, there's 2 bars that go across, and that just guides this as you adjust it to move it in and out. Right now you can see it just spins. So once I put that in, then it'll actually move back and forth. I still have to make those, but they're actually slots in those too. You saw it on the other pieces. So yeah, that's in place. This hub will have to be changed to a different bolt pattern. And got a little bit more up here to do. I got to put in some insert nuts in those. I didn't put those in yet because I'm actually putting some metal in to back it up as well. But yeah, made some progress this weekend. Soon the front end will be done, hopefully next couple weeks. Some more of the Corvette cradle with the original piece there. Yep, and it's about it so far. On the passengers, on the inner one, you'll have to, here we go. It still needs to be cleaned up. But the socket will have to be adjusted from the inside the car. I think there's another car that does that, but that's the only way I could get it. It's just too close. But it'll fit nice once the bracket's in. You just pull a little plug and bolt that in. Okay, right now what I'm doing is I'm making the cam adjuster, which is this piece right here. And that allows the cam, this is not the right one, but it allows the cam to adjust the control arms. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of this, zoom out a little bit here, 1x2, I think, yeah, 1x2, 120 wall, yeah, 120 wall. I'm gonna split it down the middle, and then I will cut a slot in here, which luckily, doesn't need to be very precise as long as it's just clearance, because what happens is it actually sits inside this groove, which I'll show you in a minute. So let me finish doing my cut. You can see here I started to do one, and I'll cut this down and I'll show you some more. Made some progress this weekend. I got probably about 80, maybe 85% of the front end on. Brackets are in, all welded. I spent a lot of time even making these adjusters here, getting those to be put in. I got the steering rack installed. There's the brackets down there. This rack is actually no good. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but there's a pretty good crack right there. So I got it as a mock-up. I got the sway bar in. I got the brackets installed for the coilovers. What I have it set up right now is for a 15 1/4 distance between the upper bracket and the lower bracket, which would be there, which for a QA shock, I've got the QA coil with a 1-inch spacer for air cups. Do that kind of lift with the air cups right there. So they go in there. And then here, I have some new inner tie rods coming. I'm not going to replace the boot because the rack's no good anyway. But the inner tie rods I have coming are longer, which you can see this angle is wrong. Loosen this up. That's about where it's supposed to be, so you can see how I could probably adjust it out, but this one's pretty sharp. So I'm just keeping it in here for now to keep everything looking nice. Put that back in. Oh, I need 2 hands for this. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, I got a new inner tie rod coming for this one. And this one's really short. You can see here it's probably about 2 inches short, 2.5 inches maybe. So I'll probably end up needing to find a longer outer tie rod as well. But that's all in and in place. Next I gotta do, so the only thing really left to do on here is take out the spindles, not the spindles, excuse me, the wheel bearings, and then re-drill those for 112. I'll get into that in another video at some other point when I do it. But this side, I still have to make the little brackets that go down there. I'm using my drill press with the nice 3/8 router bit there, and this little cheap Amazon thing, which really doesn't give you really good precision. It's got a lot of wobble in it, but luckily with those brackets, what's really important is where the spacing is, so that way the cam can adjust. The slot itself is just there to allow the bolt to pass through the metal. So that's all done, except for that side, which I'll do next weekend. And let's see what else. So yeah, like I said, I got the sway bar all installed. It's all hooked up here. Next weekend, I'll finish up the other side and decide if I want to do the spindles. I keep calling it the spindles, the wheel hubs, or if I want to start working on the rear suspension. We'll see how it goes. Oh, this is neat too. I have, when I bought the rack, I also bought a steering column, lower steering column, which, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Really need like 3 hands to do all this. So this will sit in. Oops, got you upside down. I had this in like 12 times. You think I could do it now? Anyway, this will come right up through and it'll sit right in the middle. There we go, right in the middle of the seat. It needs to be way shorter, of course, but that'll work out nice. So the rack's in a good spot. And yeah, it's getting there. So anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Just remember, this project is for sale, so let me know if you're interested, and we'll go from there. Thank you.